today. So we are now on our lesson 12 in this complete AutoCAD training course 2D and 3D. So this is the part 1 of our lesson 12, which is another modify commands. Okay. So part in these lessons are these different commands that we are going to use. First, we have the mirror, and along with mirror command, we can also use mirror text or mirror text. Then rotate, chamfer, delay, stretch, lengthen, break, extend, explode, p-edit, align, and scale. Okay, so we are going to use the mirror command first. So now let's go to our AutoCAD application. Okay, okay. First, you have to create the object that you want to use in this tutorial. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to create a triangle, and inside this triangle, I want to put a text or letter inside this triangle. So let's say letter R. Okay, so let's make this R, or let's put this letter R in the middle of the triangle. Okay, so now we are ready to use the mirror since we have already objects here that we want to use that command. But before doing that, uh, I want to put line in the middle of this object or at the endpoint, at the one of the endpoint of this object. So I will explain later why do I have to do that. Okay, so now let's use the command mirror. To do that, you just have to type in your command line mi, but if you don't want to use shortcut command, you can type the full command mirror. And then after typing the command, select the objects that you want to use that command, then hit enter. And then now I'm going to use this line as my reference for the placement of my mirrored image or mirrored object. Okay, so first click the endpoint of the first endpoint of the line, then click the another endpoint of the line. Then you are asked if you want to erase the source object, but in our case we don't want to do that since we want this the original source or the original object to remain. So you just have to click no. Okay, so now we have used the command mirror, and then if you could observe, we have used mirror in we have used the mirror command, but the text, the letter R, is not in mirrored image. I mean, it is in its original form where it is in its original state. Okay, it is not already mirrored. Okay, so if you want the text or if your object has a text in it, and if you want to include the text in mirroring, we could use the mirror text command. Okay, so to do that, type mirror text, and then you are going to put the value wherein 0 is equals to off and 1 is equals to on. That is somehow related to computers, because we all know that 0 in computer is off and 1 in computer is on. Much more likely a binary or bits. Okay, so since we want uh, to make the text in selected object to be mirrored as well, so we are going to put the value of our mirror text into 1 to turn it on. Okay, so let me just copy the object to show how does mirror text works. Okay, so how does turning on of our mirror text works? Okay, so now we have changed the value of our mirror text from 0 to 1. Now let's see how will it change the command mirror. Okay, so let me create a mirror of these objects including the text, hit enter, and then uh, just click the endpoint of these lines. Okay, so if you could see the text in the selected objects is already in mirror form. Okay, along with the object, we have the text, and the mirror, the output of the mirror is uh, the text is in mirror already. Okay, so if you don't want to create a mirror object, if you want to uh, stay to remain the original form of your text in the object selected, turn off the mirror text. Just change the mirror text value into 0. Okay, so but if you want to do it like this, the letter in the selected objects is already is mirrored to the mirror text value must be 1. Okay, so that's how mirror works and mirror text. Now let's go to our next command, the rotate. Okay, so to do that, let me just use this example in our rotate command. Okay, so to do that, type RO and hit enter, then select the object that you want to rotate. And then select the base point of your rotation. Since I want to rotate the selected object in the middle as my reference, I click this middle of the objects and then turn off the ortho mode to see the changes of the rotation of your selected objects. Okay, so that's how you use rotate command in AutoCAD. Okay, next command is chamfer. Okay, in using chamfer, it is best to use rectangle for us to view or to see how does a rectangle will change its shape by using the chamfer command. Okay, so let me just create rectangle, and then we are now going to use chamfer command. So to do that, you can type chat, or if you don't want to use shortcut, type chamfer. Okay, then select your first line, then second line, hit enter. Okay, so we have not uh, declared a value of our chamfer. Then distance, let's say 50 or 100. Then select the second object. Okay, so it's not working. So let me just do that again. Angle, let's say 50. Okay, okay. So let's try to use the command chamfer again. Chamfer. Then let's select the distance mode. Then let's say the first chamfer distance is 30. Then the second distance is 30 as well. Then select the object. Okay. So that's how you use chamfer command if you are going to use the distance mode. Okay, you just first you will enter the distance mode for your first line and to your second line as well. Okay, so let's try to do that again. The distance first for the first line is, let's say, 50, and to the second one is 50 as well. Okay, so that's how you use chamfer. Let's try to do that again. Distance is 100. 100 as well to the second line. Okay, now let's try to chamfer this line of the rectangle as well. Make a distance, say 200. 200 in the both sides. Okay, so that's how you use chamfer command in AutoCAD. Okay, next command is fillet. Okay, fillet. So it is also used in lines, more on rectangle. Okay, so I just created my rectangle here, and now let's try to use the command fillet. Then radius, let's say radius is 50, and then first object, this one and this one. Okay, so uh, in fillet command, we don't declare the value distance of our two lines that we want to use the chamfer command. In radius, you just have to declare in fillet, you just have to declare the radius of the curve or the arc that you want to create in your rectangle. Okay, let's try to do that again. Fillet, radius, then let's say 100. Then select the object, the lines, and there we created our fillet. Then let's try to do that again. Say 500. Okay. And last one, 300. Okay. So that's how you use fillet command in AutoCAD. Okay, so next command is stretch. Stretch. Okay, so let me create a series of lines here. Okay, the command is stretch. Select the object that you want to stretch. Okay, let me create different object to demonstrate how stretch works. Okay, so let's say I have circle inside this shape, stretch. Okay, so if you could observe, I can stretch the selected object. Let's try to do another example. And then let's try to stretch this object. You can see by using the stretch command, I can modify the selected object by stretching based on your selected endpoint. Okay, so that's how you use stretch command. Then another command is lengthen. Okay, let's try to type len for short. Then select the object that you want to lengthen. The DE, say 100. Okay, so if you could see, uh, you can declare the percent or the angle where you want to extend your lines. Okay, so if you could observe, by clicking the selected line, I can increase the length of the line. Okay, so that's how you use lengthen command. Then another is break. Okay, so let's use the break command in this shape. Okay, type BR for break, then select the object. Then if you could observe, uh, a line has been broken upon clicking that object. Let's try to do that again. BR. Okay. Now it is a single object is now divided into two objects by creating break command. Okay. Next command is extend. Extend. Then select the object. Okay. Okay, so extend command is not working. Maybe in the version of my AutoCAD. So let's try to uh, use another command, which is float. Okay, so let me create rectangle here and